Lovely to see you all. Welcome back, Peter. Good to have you here, and Sophie. And hi to Beth on Zoom. Can you hear us okay, Beth? Good. It's a good start. We used the wrong microphone last time. Nobody could hear us. So welcome to practice, and we will begin today with a Dharma Glimpse by Jame, which Helen has kindly agreed to read for us. Over to you, Helen.
Keeping it simple, a Dharma Glimpse by Jame. As I sat in the garden at work this morning, getting some November sunshine and some fresh air, a red-breasted robin fluttered down into a bush in front of me. It could obviously see me and chirped boldly in my direction, as if asking me a question. Head tilted slightly to one side, tail bobbing up and down. It then made a tentative leap from its branch down to me. As I crouched down in order to see it better and maybe get a photo, it ventured close enough for me to touch it, skipping a few careful steps and then darted off on the far side of the garden. This felt significant, partly because it left me with a warm feeling and a sense of awe at the diversity and complexity of life. I knew that the robin had felt my presence and recognised it as important in some way, just as I had its. Before the robin appeared, I'd been gazing in wonder at the near-naked branches of the winter trees, contemplating the meaning of their cyclical stripping down and regenerating. Is it indicative or symbolic in some way? Maybe Gaia showing us that we can't hold on to we can't hold on any more than we can prevent the new form interpenetrating the old, or just transformation, expressed for the sake of beauty and resonance. I might usually conclude these musings with a summary of my own particular interpretation, but somehow it feels important this time to just let a bird be a bird and a tree be a tree. Namu Amida Butsu.
Thank you. Okay, so we will sit quietly together for a while, and as we sit, if you would like, you can just pay attention to your breath as it moves in and out, not changing it, not manipulating it in any way, just noticing the air going inside and then outside, keeping it simple. And thoughts and feelings will also arrive. Just notice them, and like the robin, just let them move away again in their own time. Try not to interfere with them or manipulate them. This way, we very gradually come into a different relationship with ourselves, with the world. We create a little bit of space. And if we're lucky, we get little glimpses of something beyond our ordinary life, something that is wise, something that is loving. And if you get those little moments, just dwell in those moments. And then after being quiet for a while, we'll begin some chanting together. And I don't know what we're going to chant yet, so you'll find out when I start. If you don't know the words, then they'll be on your bit of paper. Namo Amida Butsu. So tonight we will call out to Kuan Yin, the Bodhisattva of compassion. Kuan Yin embodies compassion and is often shown as having many, many arms, so she can help all the different people that need help all at the same time. And she has the quality of softness, like moonlight. And as we chant, you can imagine yourself bathed in that light. Maybe there might be someone in your life who could do with some kindness or compassion at the moment. You can imagine Kuan Yin helping them at the same time. The words of the chant are Namo, I call out to, or I take refuge in, Kuan Shi Yin, Bosat. Do join in when you get the tune. Namo Kuan Shi Yin Bosat. 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 Kuan Shi Yin Bosat. Namo Kuan Shi Yin Bosat. Kuan Shi Yin Bosat. Yin Kuan Shi Yin Namo Quan Shin Bosat. Namo Quan Shin Bosat. Namo Quan Shin Bosat. Namo Shin Bosat. Namo We'll now recite some words together. And you don't want to sign up to what the words are asking. You can recite the words in support of other people here. And first of all, we recite the refuges. All Buddhists lean into three things: awakened teachers, the teachings that come from those teachers, and the community of people who try to live their lives guided by those teachings. So please repeat after me. For refuge, I go to the Buddha.
For refuge, I go to the Buddha.
The one who is awake and full of love.
The one who is awake and full of love.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
For refuge, I go to the Dharma.
For refuge, I go to the Dharma.
All that guides us to wisdom and compassion.
All that guides us to wisdom and compassion.
Namo Dharmaya.
Namo Dharmaya.
For refuge, I go to the Sangha.
For refuge, I go to the Sangha.
Those who are lit by the Buddha's light.
Those who are lit by the Buddha's light.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
Next, we recite the precepts, which are the rules that we attempt to live by, the star that we kind of point ourselves towards. So with faith in the three jewels,
With faith in the three jewels,
I pray that I may not take life.
I pray that I may not take life.
With faith in the three jewels,
With faith in the three jewels,
I pray that I may not steal.
I pray that I may not steal.
With faith in the three jewels,
With faith in the three jewels,
I pray that I may not fall into sexual misconduct.
I pray that I may not fall into sexual misconduct.
With faith in the three jewels,
With faith in the three jewels,
I pray that I may not fall into wrong speech.
I pray that I may not fall into wrong speech.
With faith in the three jewels,
With faith in the three jewels,
I pray that I may avoid intoxication.
I pray that I may avoid intoxication.
And then 6 words that my friend Terry has as his motto. I just want to try something new tonight, just to keep you all on your toes. So rather than doing the words 2 at a time, I'm just going to read them all. So hold off the repeating until I've read them. No blame, be kind, love everything.
No blame, be kind, love everything.
Am I meant to be? Oh, one more thing.
Innumerable are sentient beings.
We vow to save them all.
Inexhaustible are deluded passions.
We vow to transform them all.
Immeasurable are the Dharma teachings.
We vow to master them all.
Infinite is the Buddha's way.
We vow to fulfill it completely. So a couple of days ago, Caspar and I watched a film about a bouncer. I can't remember the name of it.
Big Boys Don't Cry.
Big Boys Don't Cry, on Netflix. And it was about a bouncer in the 90s who had just found out that the teachers from his children's home where he grew up had been convicted of ritualized abuse, of horrible abuse. And the police women that came to see him to let him know that it was going to be on the news told him that 6 out of the 8 people in his dorm had killed themselves as a result of the abuse. So it was a very tough film. It's a true story. It was based on a true story. And what really struck me as I was watching the film was how bound we are by the karma that we end up with. How constricted, how weighed down, how some people are born into situations where suffering is just piled upon them. And as the story unfolds, we see the central character as he kind of struggles with this heavy karma, with this burden of the abuse that he suffered, and knowing that his classmates have decided not to live anymore as a result. And the thing that I took away from the film, I won't give away what happens, but he was involved in making the film and actually appears at the end of the film with his own children, which was really moving. The thing that makes the difference to this man, in my opinion, was softness, was gentleness. He happens to get together with a woman who cares about him, who stays beside him and who encourages him to begin to speak of what happened. I think that the temptation when we're dealing with karma, with events in our life that have been crushing and horrible and difficult, the temptation can be to fight back, to become strong, to try really hard to do the right thing, or to push. And there is a place for that. One of the things that was also important to the character was learning how to box and being kind of shown how to channel some of his anger into something that had more discipline or more kind of containment. But in my own experience of what helps me and my experience of what helps my psychotherapy clients is that the quickest way to change our lives is to be gentle, with ourselves. And that's really hard sometimes. We were having dinner downstairs with Mikey and Ludo before practice, and we've got a cat that's afraid of our dog. So he lives in the bedroom, cat lives in the bedroom, dog lives in the living room. And it's been this way for a very long time, but I've got some renewed hope that the cat might be able to learn to handle the dog if we can train them. And my instinct is always to get the cat, hold him really tight and shove him into the living room and hold him there to show him that the dog's not going to chase him. And you can imagine how it is for a scared cat to be held onto and pushed. And I think that this is often how, in the past, certainly I've dealt with situations that I've been afraid of or I've wanted to change, is I've taken parts of me and I've kind of dragged them along, kicking and screaming, whether they wanted to come or not. And I know that the quickest way to encourage our cat to have a look at the dog and not run away is not pushing him, is tempting him with little treats, but being patient and repeating that over and over, and not losing my temper and not hurrying. And the film also showed how it was gentleness that allowed this man to survive. So we chanted to Kuan Yin, who is also gentle and hugely powerful. Gentleness isn't a weak force. Gentleness can be really strong. But it can be really difficult to trust. It can be difficult to trust gentleness when things are desperate or when we are suffering or when we are pushed into a corner. So maybe the invitation today as we move towards a new year is to be curious about the bits of you that you push and shove around, and just wonder what it might be like to ease off a little bit, to keep doing the good thing, to keep coming to the good place, or to keep, making the kind of courageous steps that need to be taken, but doing so with gentleness. And if it feels impossible, then just remember that Kuan Yin has your back. Namo Quan Chi Yin Bosat. So now we will do some prostrations in front of the Buddha. Do feel free to do as much as your mind and body let you. My back's really not playing today, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get back up again. But if I'm still down there after the second prostration, then maybe someone can come and get me up. I don't need to be.
In gratitude, we offer the merit of this incense offering to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout space and time. Be as fragrant as earth herself, reflecting the careful efforts, our wholehearted awareness, and the fruits of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness, realize our true home.
If you'd like to return to stand at your seats. And we always finish by bowing to each other. So Fee will bow to me, Helen will bow to Casper, and then everyone else work it out amongst yourselves. And then
Just one side and then the other.
just about to say that. And then the Buddha. Tidy our seats and bow to our seats. And then we finish by reciting the closing verse together, which is on your bit of paper. Blessed by Amitabha's light, may we care for all living things and the holy earth. Namo Amida. A reminder that we'll be here for New Year's, we'll be here Saturday morning as usual, then we'll be here in the evening for New Year's Eve. Any time in the evening, and then practice will be 11 till midnight, and we'll finish with 108 bells at midnight. So I hope you'll join us for a cup of tea and some chocolate.
But now that's.